All right, guys, it's fall in New England. That means the temperature's starting to go down outside. So today we are going to talk about one of the most forgotten parts, probably the cheapest element of our aquarium systems, but possibly one of the most important, which is the heater. It's a good time to make sure your heater is working. They recommend you replace them every 1 to 2 years now. Some of us even unplug them during the summer just to get that extra outlet. It depends on how many outlets you need. Make sure it's plugged in. See if it's keeping temperature. You want to run in most tanks, we run around 78 degrees. If the heater's over a year or two old, you might want to consider replacing it because like I said, they are one of the most inexpensive items we have in our tanks. But with the new construction of most heaters, when they fail, the good old days they failed and the tank got cold, the fish can stand getting cold. Now when they fail, they tend to get stuck on. And fish don't like 95, 96 degree water, so you gotta keep an eye on that. If you just had a tank installed, say from this spring or throughout the summer, it's not a very common problem, but it could become an issue when your heater starts kicking on, especially if you added another tank and it's on the same circuit breaker. Make sure your circuit breaker doesn't trip if both heaters or one heater tends to kick on, because that can happen. Basically, there's 3 types of heaters. For your smaller tanks, you have the mini heaters. These are preset to 78 degrees. No matter what you do, it's going to heat that water to 78 degrees. They are not adjustable. Your second type is the most common. These come preset at 78 degrees, but they have a dial on the top. You can turn them up, you can turn them down. They tend to hold that temperature pretty good. No one ever reads the instructions on a heater. They just take it, they throw it in the tank, they plug it in, they walk away. Every heater out there, pretty much, if you read the instructions, says put it in the water for 20 minutes before you plug it in. That lets all the internal components adjust to the new environment it's in. So keep that in mind. You put the heater in, let it sit for 20 minutes, then plug it in. Go by the tank an hour or 2 later and make sure it's holding the temperature you want it at. If not, you might have to adjust the top dial on. The third type is the type I recommend the most. We carry the Finex brand, but these are titanium heaters. The titanium heaters come with these controllers. This controller is a backup system for you. If that heater does fail, it has a sensor that's in the water. If your heat gets too high, it will shut it off and the heater will no longer function until that temperature drops. And then once again, once the temperature drops, the heater will kick on. One thing to keep in mind when you're using a system like this, if you're using a sumped tank, make sure the heater and the probe are in the sump or in the tank. You don't want one or the other in the tank and in the sump. If your return pump ever fails and the sensor is up in the tank, it's gonna kick that heater on and it's gonna start boiling the water down in your sump and it'll kill off all your live rock or your refugium or whatever you have down there, and vice versa. One very important part with this sensor, make sure it is as far away from the heater as possible and don't have it next to your return pump or you will get a false reading off of it. I think that's about it for heaters. Good luck with the colder weather. Enjoy it. It's beautiful outside. Halloween's coming. The leaves are changing. This is one great time to live in New England. Have a great day, guys.